Good morning to my now 77 subscribers. I decided last video that I would try and make the introductions as visually interesting as possible, and I truly don't believe that there's anywhere more visually interesting than the Royal Mile on a nice summery day. So I'm here just now. My plan's actually to go a little bit further afield for today's video. I'm going to do my Quiet Spots episode 2. You can see St Giles Cathedral behind us. Probably one of my favourite spots to sit and relax in Edinburgh. You can go inside and meditate. It's also free. So I've not done a video in a little while. I was ill, I had a bit of a cold, but the truth is I've just been procrastinating.
It's all right.
It's all right. Happy for the company. Yeah, I've been procrastinating a little bit making these videos, so saw the sun was out, decided I'd get out and have another bash today. And I've managed to time this perfectly that I've seen a parade go past as well. It's already incredibly busy on the Royal Mile, and we've still got a few months until the festival starts. That's when it really comes into its own, you know. So if this is a sign of things to come, it's going to be a big year in Edinburgh, especially if this weather keeps up. You know, I've lived in Edinburgh literally my whole entire life, and no word of a lie, every single time I come back and I'm walking around, I still just have my head tilted up, looking at all the buildings and the architecture and the history. The novelty has never worn off, and I don't believe it ever will. So thankful to live in arguably one of the most beautiful cities on planet Earth. So I'm in the Royal Botanic Gardens now, and as soon as I came up with the idea to do a quiet spot video, this is one of the first places that sprung to mind. However, what I've done was I started over-analysing what constitutes a quiet spot. An obvious answer would be an absence of noise, but if you're anything like me, you could be in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere with no people, and your head still goes at 1,000,000 miles per hour, therefore not quiet. So for me, a quiet spot is more than just a place that's not busy or doesn't have people. It's actually a place where my head's quiet, somewhere where I can actually think, not have the 1,000 chattering monkeys in my brain at all times. And this is a good example of that. Is a quiet spot somewhere where you can meditate? Is it somewhere where you can go to sleep? Is it somewhere where you can read a book quietly? And my conclusion was that a quiet spot is individual, and what might be somewhere where I can relax isn't necessarily going to be a one shoe fits all kind of thing. The purpose of a botanic garden, and there are a couple dotted about the UK, off the top of my head I think there's maybe 7 or 8. Not every city has one, but a lot of big cities do. The sole purpose of it is preservation. I won't go into my thoughts on global warming or climate change because I'm not an expert, but one thing I do know is as humans expand, we take away natural habitats. We take away areas where trees can grow, deforestation. And whatever your personal opinion is on those things, it is important that we have places where we preserve animals, wildlife, plants. And that's what these things are set up to do. This tree behind me here is actually a redwood. You might not recognise it because it's not in its natural habitat. However, in the United States, California, you get redwoods that are the same size as skyscrapers. And I might be wrong, and if I am wrong, please mention it in the comments, but I'm pretty sure the places where these redwoods grow aren't on any maps, and they're not something that are spoken about frequently. For obvious reasons, they want to protect them, and the wood is very sought after. There's some cracking photos. If I can find any photographs of the stumps of a fully grown redwood, it's quite mind-blowing. Another criteria that's essential for my quiet spots is that they have free entry and that they're accessible as possible to as many people as possible. Now, I wanted to find a use case for incorporating AI into my video. I use artificial intelligence for quite a lot of things, specifically Grok, which is the AI voice assistant. So I'm going to see if it can help me do some research. As I'm walking around here, I'm thinking, damn, this must take a lot of effort to upkeep it. So let's see if Grok can tell me how many people it takes to maintain this place. Okay, Grok, I'm at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Edinburgh, and I'm wondering, on average, during the summer months when it's busy, how many people does it take to maintain and upkeep this place?
During the summer, the Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh, typically has over 240 staff members handling maintenance and upkeep, covering various disciplines to manage the busy period. Posts on X suggest they might scale up with additional seasonal workers or volunteers to handle the influx of visitors.
Well, there you have it. Over 200 people and volunteers. I think that this would be a pretty cool place to work in the summer months. One of my favourite pastimes is just to be out in nature. I love plants and trees. Trees in particular, I'm not sure what it is about them. I always remember the first book I ever read was The Hobbit by JRR Tolkien. And he obviously had an affinity for nature. I remember reading the descriptions of Hobbiton and the surrounding areas. And I think that's what my mind associates when I look at trees and I look at plants. I basically think of Lord of the Rings, bizarrely, but it's true. Last time I was here with my mother, she hugged a tree, and I remember being really embarrassed. And despite the fact that there's people walking about, I think I'm going to give it a try and see if it feels good. You ever hugged a tree? Right, that's long enough, I think. And I managed to do that with only one other person seeing me, which I think is quite impressive. Oh, no, there's other people. Oh well. Obviously, I've been looking at my recordings back after I've done them to make sure they've been all right. And I hope if you've been watching my videos from the start, you notice that my jowls are disappearing slowly but surely. And that's because I've lost about 9 kilos in the last few months. With the help of some friends from Pennycook, we're in a group chat and we've been encouraging each other. Much easier if you've got people to bounce off and encourage you rather than just going it solo. Certainly for me anyway, I've tried to lose weight and get into better routines, and I manage it, put it back on, and I feel like it's a bit different this time. It's stuck. I've got the feel for it. I feel energetic. My sleeping's got better. I feel fresh and happy and full of life. It's difficult to maintain that when you're eating a munchie box from the Chinese every single night, or, you know, I eat out quite often. Chances are I'll eat out after this. I don't know if I'll video it, but I do eat out quite often. That's one of my downfalls. But when I know that I've got something coming up, I'll maybe just do a little fast, or I'll maybe just do a bit of a larger calorie deficit leading up to it, and then I can enjoy it without overthinking what I'm putting in my body. So that's me leaving the Botanic Gardens now, and it also concludes episode 2 of Edinburgh Quiet Spots. I'm glad that I got myself out this morning. It's easy to make excuses not to do things, but I've had a really fun day out. To tell the truth, I would usually spend much longer here, but I've got a couple other things on today that I need to do. So, as always, hit the like, subscribe button, and if you have any suggestions for places I should visit next, please put them in the comments and I'll try and visit them.